Good afternoon. What's for lunch? Hope you've had a great day so far and you've got this noontime to get some physical nourishment and even today maybe some encouragement for your spirit. Thank you for joining me. It's a blessing to be with you. As always, I like sharing a little bit about our family and what we're doing during this time. And things are still going well with us now that especially at school has ended. The celebrations have begun. Now only to keep them busy, see what the school comes up with for our summertime enrichment, as they call it. But the other day, my oldest two, Ella and Henry, amazingly got together and worked together in baking some chocolate chip cookies. And only one thing fell into the oven and caught on fire, which they put out and then FaceTimed me to let me know that they'd put it out. But really good chocolate chip cookies from those two, and it's good to see that they were working together on something. Whitman's trying to do something that's a little, showed him something fun to do, something new to do. We looked out there one day and Henry had his bicycle on the trampoline. And of course, younger brother will do it without supervision, but he wants to get out there and do the same thing, so he spends some time. I guess the purpose is try to learn how to bounce your bike while on it on the trampoline. So that's what we're calling inviting a trip to the ER. So we have to watch out, keep our eyes on those types of activities going around the house. You know, it's kind of like when it's too quiet around the house, you need to start getting up, start looking around because somebody's up to something. But all in fun as well. I worked for Regions Bank some long time ago. I worked in their mortgage division, Regions Mortgage, for about 5 years. And it was an area called default administration. It was foreclosure. It was a very, very stressful job. A lot of good learning, professional learning that went on, a lot of personal growth and development that also went on during this time. For a time there, in the whole banking system for Regions, we had an incentive program. It's called the Right Idea. And what employees were encouraged to do was to look at the way we do things. To look at the overall, not only what you do at your desk, but maybe the process of things within a department, how it flowed, how things went between departments as we exchanged information and details. But just to look at a better way of doing things, processes and methods. And we would write up our submissions and kind of give estimates of time savings, if it was applicable to put cost savings, you know, things that the bank would save money on, and when these things would be implemented. And in doing that, if your idea was accepted, you would get rewarded, you would get credit for it, and they would issue a little coin, a little token. And that was good. I think it was for a half day off, and you could accumulate those up and use them. But they would give credit, not only within the department, there would be a newsletter where some of the top ideas were generated so that we could celebrate the creativity of our people and what was happening in the bank or the mortgage area. Giving credit where credit is due. I like that expression. It applies a lot personally in my own life, in my own walk with how I approach things, because if someone else does something and it's an idea and it's developed, we want to give credit where it's due. The phrase itself of getting credit where credit is due is just an acknowledgement to the person, or in some examples I'll give, to the creator of the universe who deserves it, to give God the credit in what happens in our life. It's believed that Samuel Adams coined this phrase. It was a letter that he wrote in October 29th of 1777, where he simply used the phrase, "Give credit to whom credit is due." On many occasions, during different times, I have an idea. It may be mostly during these times related to church things. It is something that wakes me up at night, or it is something, it's almost like eureka moment. And a lot of times I just feel like this is above and beyond my capabilities. And sometimes it's not, but I like thinking that. And I'll stop and say, God, that's all you. That is all Him, that He has given me this thought or this idea. Whether it's used or not, it doesn't matter, but something that came into my mind, that popped in my mind, and I just give God the credit for bringing that to me and letting me use it or express it in other ways with others. Maybe it's related to what we do here. I'm going to give God the credit, even when I misplace things. You know, it figured at this time in my life I would have a place in my house where I would put my keys and my wallet and my cell phone and do that the same place every day. But it just doesn't happen. I'm always looking for keys for, and when I find them, I just tell God, thank you, God, because I'm giving Him credit for finding even the little things in my life. I see the same things happening in our staff, you know, just in our meetings, the creativity and the things that our guys and ladies are coming up with and thinking about, may be used as expressed, or we may work together and formulate what God is giving us. And I was just reminded about this the other day. We had our Zoom staff meeting yesterday, and the prayer expressed that just echoed so much was, God, give us wisdom. God is going to give us wisdom, and He has been giving us wisdom. And we're giving God the credit and the blessing for what He's given to us, how He is showing us to navigate this time in our church family. And it's particular for our church. You know, other churches will do what's good for their families. In the same way, in your family at home, acknowledge the accomplishment of kids. And maybe even if you've been able to have time with grandkids, acknowledge the small things of what they accomplished. Those things grow unity. It grows a team of being together as much as we have been. I try to say thank you to my kids even for the things that I expect them to do. I want to show appreciation for taking out the trash, or, man, if one of them jumps in there and unloads the dishwasher without being asked, that may be worth some money, but at least a verbal acknowledgement of giving credit to them where it is due, of acting and doing something. All this time with our kids, you know, we feel like, you know, we're actually getting them trained now. But actually it means they're being more responsible. And I want to give credit to them where it is due and demonstrate to them, you know, God is growing us. He's growing you in certain ways, and we want to celebrate those things. I found a verse in Proverbs 3:27 that kind of wraps all this up for me. And it says there, it says, when it is in your power, don't withhold good from the one it belongs to. Let me read that again. When it is in your power, don't withhold good from the one it belongs to. Translation may said, do not withhold honor from those who are due honor. We can see how that elevates for giving God the credit when it's due to Him, because everything is due to Him because of what He does for us, what He wants to do for us as we allow Him to work in our lives, to work in our church family, to work maybe with even your Sunday school class, to connect with people. How do we uniquely and creatively reach out to each other, and how we do ministry and how we're touching lives? Let's give God that credit where it is due, and be all the more blessed because of what He wants to do through us and in us. Thank you for given this brief amount of time today, be praying for our worship time to even come this Sunday. Until then, we'll see you later.